Hello, I'm Carol Selva Rajah, author of the award-winning Food of India cookbook. Cooking is a living subject, so I need to continually update the recipes. Hence the title, India, the Infinite Cookbook. As you know, infinity is composed of small moments in small places. We're going to visit them all, or give it a darn good try. So the quicker we begin, the better for us all. First stop, Goa. It's a vibrant, fun-loving community and the home of many beautiful churches, including the Basilica of Bom Jesus. But we're here to look at food. Our first stop is a spice farm in Goa, in India's tropical south. Spices from Goa have over the centuries spread all over the world and are still the basis of Goan cuisine. The Kolatam is a village dance around a holy basil plant close to the garden altar. I travelled with Sandeep to the spice plantation.
Sandeep, it's wonderful to be here, only because I recognize so many of the trees we had in Malaysia. But some trees that you have, I've never ever seen. I can't imagine this is real pepper.
Exactly. Actually, the peppers, you can see normally you see always the finished product in the market.
Yes.
But this is how it all grows on the tree.
That's the pepper that's green, and once it turns red, it's ripe, and then it's dried in the sun until it turns black. And some of the black skin is sometimes removed, and you have white pepper.
Actually, apart from pepper, you can see also the betel nut trees around. Like most of the spices grows under the shade quite well. So we always use these betel nut trees, which you can see.
The betel nut trees. The betel nut is the one that they chew with lime, and the saliva changes it to red.
Exactly.
That's why it goes on the the teeth turn red.
It's like more known as a good digestive.
A stimulant.
A stimulant when you mix with the tobacco. It does,
Yes, exactly. Wonderful things. The little old ladies chew a lot of it on one side, and it's. I think it's a stimulant.
Yeah, it does give you a little high.
The areca nut, commonly known as the betel nut, grows high above the other trees. The picker climbs the tree to dislodge the areca nuts and jumps from tree to tree. A whole grove can be harvested in a few minutes this way.
That's wonderful. That's turmeric here.
Exactly. That's how like turmeric grows all under the ground, all in the root form.
It's a rhizome, isn't it? Just like the ginger. It's lovely. And it's also very good for sore throats.
Sore throat, constant cold cough. They just mix a teaspoon in a glass of milk and have it.
And a little bit of turmeric and ginger is a wonderful cold cure as far as I'm concerned. That's exactly what I use.
Good remedy for health. Okay, this orchid, this wine you see is actually your second most expensive spice in the world. This is the orchid of spice vanilla. What makes this vanilla really expensive? In India, we don't have the birds like the hummingbirds which pokes the honey naturally. So we need to do it by own hands. So what we get from this orchid plants, we get a flower coming, white flower. It very much looks like a lily flower. Inside the flower there are crocus, both your stigma, pollen. So we just like
the stigma, So
we just need to stick like a toothpick thing, and then we poke in. So when you poke, it bursts, it mixes well, and slowly that flower turns to your fruit.
Okay.
When your pollination is right.
Artificial insemination.
Exactly, you can say.
We find a fenny still deep in the spice forest used for distilling the cashew nut liquor. Fenny is a traditional liquor made from cashews.
So once the juice is totally fermented, they put all that juice in this copper pot out here.
This is where the fenny is distilled. Okay.
Yeah, then they put the cover with the mud pot, airtight with the mud so the steam doesn't goes off, and apply the fire under that. So once it starts boiling, it's like a distillation thing. From the small condenser, here it accumulates, here it cools down. There is the water and the oil inside, and then the distillate what they get drop by drop coming on this side.
Oh, okay.
The Palacio di Deo is a grand house built in the 17th century for the Bishop of Goa. The gardens are spectacular. The building reflects the mixed Hindu and Christian architecture of its time. In the chapel, the colors are quite bizarre. The house had a main sala for receiving guests and other rooms for the bishop.
Y de día te espero con toda mi alma.
I can imagine the music reaching the whole parish when Mass was said here. The palanquin would have carried the bishop in the days before roads were constructed in Goa. This is Ruben, our host.
Well, what we try to give you is an experience of in totality, it's not just the building, it's the architecture, the furniture, the food we eat, the gardens we are in. So it's a whole experience, basically, what we try to.
Ruben's wife Celine is cooking us a Goan prawn curry. Celine has prepared green chili, turmeric, and prawns marinated in toddy. To the pot, Celine adds crushed garlic and cumin. Green chili is slit to add to heat. Then red onions are softened. They add sweetness to the curry. Now what are you waiting for them? For the onions to soften?
For the onions to soften,
Yes.
so we get the maximum flavor out of it.
You enjoy cooking, don't you?
Yeah, sure.
Yes. Then a tablespoon of coconut vinegar is added before cooking. How many tablespoons do you use?
I'm using 1 tablespoon per coconut.
Yeah, okay.
So this curry can also be made a vegetarian curry using cauliflower.
Oh, instead of prawns. Okay,
Yeah.
good.
And now in the prawns, I've added salt 20 minutes ago. This is the thin juice of the coconut. First we add the thin juice and then the thick juice. Okay.
Yeah.
The thin juice we cook for a longer time.
And you use this as a finishing.
The finishing to
agent.
thicken
Yes,
it.
yes,
Yeah.
to thicken it, yes. Do all Goans cook a prawn dish like yours?
Each region I found has a different, means the recipes vary a little bit. But the interesting thing is also the chilies, the variety of chilies also vary. And based on that, the flavor differs from place to place.
Of course, yes, yes.
And of course, each person's, recipe.
Tolerance
yeah.
and tolerance of chili helps, yes, of course. Yes. Wow, this looks beautiful.
Okay, so when the prawns are just done, I'm going to add that thick juice and cook it. And for those who like it a little spicier, we could add 1 or 2 more green chilies. It depends on individual taste.
Why do you slice the chili?
Rather than cut it, because if it is a bit spicy, one can just remove it.
We also have freshly tapped toddy. Toddy is another traditional liquor, this time made from the inflorescence of coconut trees. The sap is tapped early in the morning, then collected.
Yeah, this is
Wow.
the toddy, and we ferment it for 21 days and we get the vinegar.
The vinegar, yes. But when we drink this, it's not fermented. When does it ferment?
Actually, fermentation starts about 24 hours from the time it's taken.
So if you leave this here 24 hours
Sure.
later, I will be tottering all over your garden. Won't I? Yes.
Yeah, and then it turns into acetic acid
Yes,
in
of course.
21 days. Yeah.
You're a microbiologist if you know that, definitely. This is so beautiful. Can I stay here?
Sure, because this is less spicy than our red curry, which we traditionally have. It is said to be a Indo-Portuguese dish because it tends to be a little less spicy or more bland.
After cooking, Celine and Ruben put on a dinner for us. The finale is bibinka, a steamed dessert made with layers of batter. This is a lavish dish that reflected the wealth of Goa. It takes no less than 60 eggs. The bishop couldn't have dined better. Back at the spice farm, Arvin is going to cook us a signature chicken dish of Goa.
And this is chicken chakuti, which is a very famous
in Goa.
famous dish in Goa. Okay, so what I do, I put some onion, some oil now. I'll just cook it with some oil, a little bit of onion, some chili powder. We just use a little bit so that we can cook it properly nicely. Okay. And then, what is this?
Ginger garlic paste.
Ginger garlic paste. I was wondering when the ginger and garlic was coming on. Okay. You know, Arvin, I wish the camera could smell all these lovely things, because the smell is just wonderful. It's just a little bit oil, just so that it doesn't burn. I can smell the cumin, I can smell the fennel. Wow. So you want it to really cook well? Okay, fine. It's chicken. Chicken pieces that have been chopped up. Yes, keep adding. A little bit more. 1 or 2 pieces more. Okay. You want to add a little bit more water? Okay. When I heard about chicken chakuti and I came to Goa the first time, I had it. It was very beautiful. Oh wow, what a wonderful paste.
Little
Okay.
bit.
Little bit. Okay.
Enough.
Okay. And it cooks slowly. And that's the paste with poppy seeds. It's got
seeds,
coriander,
coriander,
pepper,
cinnamon,
cloves, cinnamon, got cumin
Ginger,
and
garlic paste
ginger
also
garlic
is
paste. Yes, of course. It's a wonderful recipe. And it's not very Portuguese, is it? It's very Goan. It's very Goan, more Indian Goan, isn't it? It's all these wonderful pastes, all your spices that you grow here. It's always better to cook it in a saucepan so that you can actually see it and it dries up faster. A little bit of salt. Okay. Okay. Sugar. Okay.
Chicken chakuti,
Okay, that's it.
another recipe I've
Wonderful.
never seen in any cookbook. The warm tropical night comes on fast. We're cooking tiger prawns marinated in fenny, the traditional liquor. We start with 500 grams of large tiger prawns shelled with the tails left on. They have been marinating in half cup of fenny. Arvind adds equal quantities of ginger and garlic paste and some salt to the prawns.
Just a quick egg wash, thin egg wash, and then we are just coating it with a very fine semolina flour. And then it goes into hot oil. The oil's got to be really hot so that it's nice and crisp.
Each prawn is cooked on both sides, only for a minute, not longer.
That's done, I think. One of those is done.
Any more cooking and they will turn rubbery.
All right.
Delicious.